Hello and welcome to the studio. My unfinished studio, but it is a studio. We're not working on the studio. I'm sorry. I wish we were, but we're not. But today we are going to try glue basting a quilt sandwich using a glue stick. So this is the Elmer's washable school glue stick. It's the disappearing purple version. It's a giant stick too. They come in smaller sticks, but this is just the one I have on hand. So I'm going to be using this to glue baste my quilt. So the quilt that I am going to be glue basting is a throw size quilt made using my cake twist pattern. This pattern uses one layer cake. You cut them up and then sew them back together in this really cute patchwork design. I just love it. The reason why I want to use a glue stick instead of my regular Elmer school glue, because you guys know I love my Elmer school glue. Number one, I've gotten a lot of questions asking if you can baste with this. And as far as I know, you can, but I really want to put it to the test and know for certain, yes, you can use it. And then another reason why I am using this instead of regular school glue is I am going to be hand quilting this quilt. And one issue that can come up when using the regular school, like loose school glue, is it can kind of create hard spots. And when you're hand quilting, that is less than ideal, right? Because you're pushing a needle through with your fingers, with your hands, and it can be difficult, and you can get sore fingers from that and everything. So I am thinking, the theory is that this will be a lot easier. This will not leave, you know, those thick hard spots that the school glue can. So we're going to try it out. I'm going to test it. If for some reason I find that the hand quilting is just really difficult with this, I will update you guys, and I'll probably just machine quilt the quilt because that's what I usually do anyways. But I attempted hand quilting on a smaller project recently, and it was so much fun. It was just pure joy. It felt like it was just so much fun, and it was very therapeutic. And you know, in the evenings, if I'm sitting around watching TV or watching YouTube or something, this will be something that I can do with my hands instead of scrolling social media and frying my brain cells. So I thought it's a good thing. To get started, I have my quilt top and I have backing. I'm just using a solid green because I'm going to be using some really pretty pink thread. I ordered some Aerofill 12 weight thread, so I'm going to be doing the big stitch quilting. I haven't decided quite yet what design I'm going to do. Maybe I'll do a whole video on that and kind of any tips and tricks I come up with hand quilting, or kind of my experience with it. But that will be a while because hand quilting takes time, right? But anyways, I ordered this really pretty pink. I think I ordered a couple shades of pink, so I might kind of switch it out and do something fun. So the pink thread's going to show up really nicely on that green backing. So I'm excited about that. And then I just have my Pellon cotton batting. I buy it by the roll because I just use so much batting because I make several quilts each year. Actually, I order this from Joann's, and I just checked this morning, and these rolls of batting are on sale right now. So they're like 45% off. So I think it's around $100 for a 20-yard roll of 90-inch width batting. So if you were interested in that, it's a really great deal. It ships to your house for free, or you can pick it up at your local Joann's if they have it in stock. So I will link that down in the description box below because it's a really good sale. I'm probably going to go ahead and order a roll because I'm getting close to the end of this one. And we're going to be making lots of quilts, continuing in the next couple of months and then into 2025. Lots of quilts are coming. So first I need to cut my batting, which I'm going to do here real quick. And then we will start basting with our glue stick and see how it goes. Wish me luck. So in case you haven't seen my other basting videos, when I cut my batting from the roll, it's folded, the batting is folded in half and rolled up. So this is 45 inches wide folded. So it's the 90-inch wide batting, right? So it's 45 inches folded. And so then I fold my backing in half and lay it out as smooth as possible on the batting. And this just kind of gives me a rough estimate of what size to cut my batting. I cut my batting a little bit bigger than my backing, but you can have it be about the same size. I just want to make sure that I have plenty of batting because I've accidentally cut it too small before and had to add like a little chunk later on. So it's just better safe than sorry. Make it a couple inches longer than what you think you need it to be. There we go. I have that cut. And then when I get the batting shipped to me, it just comes in this big plastic bag and I just store it in this so it keeps all of the pet hair and dust and whatever off of the batting while it's stored. So just like that. And there it's ready to go back into storage. This is going to be a learning experience for all of us, right? What I am thinking is I am going to do things a little bit differently for the basting. So usually I would lay out the batting and then smooth the fabric over the batting. But since we are using the glue stick, I am going to be smearing the glue onto the fabric, not onto the batting, because I think if you try to smear it onto the batting, it'll get all gunky. The little fibers of the batting will come off onto the glue and it'll just be a mess. So I am going to smear the glue onto the fabric and then smooth the batting over the fabric. So I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to do the backing first. So I'm going to go ahead and move my backing here. I know the terms can be annoying. Batting and backing sound a lot alike. The batting is what is inside of the quilt. The backing is the back of the quilt. So maybe I should just call it the back of the quilt instead of backing. I know it could be a little confusing for some people. Some people also call the batting wadding. So that is something you could call it as well. All right, I moved the camera to the other side, so hopefully the lighting's a little bit better over here. But hi, Omi. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna grab the fabric and I am going to lay it out. I think I might have to do it like half and half because I have that big X tool machine. That's a laser cutter on the corner of my table. It's kind of in an annoying spot. So I might just have to lay this out down here. It's a learning experience, right? Oh yeah, I'll be able to do like half and half. This is going to be really interesting. First off, I am just trying to get the fabric as smooth as possible on my table. So then when I'm putting the batting on it, it's going to be smooth when it dries, right? I don't think the creases in the fabric are going to be a problem. Those will kind of wash out when I wash the quilt. All right, I think it's about as smooth as it's going to get. If you wanted to, you probably could not glue. You could probably tape the fabric to the table. I'm not going to do that, but you could probably do that with some painter's tape. All right, so now we are ready for the batting. Well, actually, I'm going to put some glue on first. So what I'm going to do is, I got the glue, right? Ooh, I actually wanted to also look to see how much glue we actually use for the project. So I was going to open this thing because I'm curious to see how much of this is going to get used for this. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is about 3 inches long. So there's the before, and we'll see how much we use for the project. So now I gotta roll it back in. And I think we need to move a little quickly because I think this does dry pretty fast, if my memory serves me well from when I was a kid using this stuff. Let's go ahead and start. I'm just gonna start up here in this corner. So, and I'm just gonna kind of do lines. You do not, I'm guessing we do not have to completely cover the top. So I'm gonna put my lines maybe 6 inches apart. 6 or 8 inches apart, I think would be fine. Ooh, this is a little messy, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna do like half of this piece to about there. Okay, and then close the glue stick, and let's get the batting and see how that goes. Let me zoom it in a little bit so you can see. So see, it's not, there's gaps and stuff. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. So now I just get my batting. I'm just gonna line it up. Whoops. Okay, taping the fabric might work well on the table, but let's see what we got here. Let's see what we're doing. I'm just going to smooth out the batting on the fabric. Okay, that feels pretty smooth up there on top. And then just gonna pull it over, smoothing. I'm gonna grab both layers and just pull them this way. And then I'm just giving the fabric a little tug so everything's laying flat. And I know some people say that they use a ruler. They use like the edge of a ruler to smooth out the layers, to smooth out the batting or the fabric. I really want to use my hands so I can actually feel what's going on underneath. So if the fabric is bubbled, I would be able to feel it with my hand. Like right there, I can feel there's a little bubble. So I'm able to smooth it out. I think this is gonna work, you guys. To give it a little tug. I think it is glued down on all of the section where we put the glue. That is good. Cool. I'm gonna move quickly and I am going to glue the other side of the table. So here, lift that up. I'm gonna go glue that section now. Peel this back to where I had glued. Smooth out the fabric. Whoop. I probably don't want that thick of chunks. I just need just enough to hold the layers together for when I am quilting. Probably don't even have to do a line. I probably can just kind of go right like that. Yep, that would probably be plenty. Because you got to kind of think of it as if you were pin basting, you would just have like a pin there, 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 you know, something like that. Oh, that's actually a good idea. That'll probably use a lot less glue too. And I'm less likely to have a tricky spot with a bunch of glue if I just do these little marks instead of trying to do like a full line. So, okay, so I did like little polka dots of glue. So I'm just gonna smooth it. It's looking pretty smooth. Hi, Obi. Hi. Okay. So I'm just gonna run my hands over it like that. If you gotta give the batting a little tug to get a roll out, you can. If I see a roll that I need to get out, I will put my hand on the opposite side of the roll and then I just give it a little tug and that gets the roll to move. Okay, I'm just gonna press my hands across here. Make sure it's got a good hold on the batting. And then I'm actually going to flip this over because now we have the glue applied. Now I really want to make sure that the fabric is smooth, right? So I'm going to flip this over so the fabric is exposed. And it looks like the glue is not drying like instantaneously like I thought it would. So that is good. That is definitely a good thing. So I have time to move stuff around and get this the way that I want it so I can smooth the fabric out. Yeah, so now I'm just going to smooth the fabric out with my hands so we are as smooth as possible. It's fun experimenting and figuring out new ways to do stuff. That's one of my favorite parts about quilting. So I'm gonna let this dry and then I will glue the other half. So yeah, I definitely need to let it dry. So I will meet you back once this is dried. Okay, so I have the quilt set up now to baste the other half of the backing onto the batting. So I am going to actually put the glue on the batting this time because when I re-glued that corner, I put the glue on the batting and I found that the fibers actually did not come up, but my theory about that was actually correct. So that is a good thing because that makes this a little bit easier. So I am just going to fold this back. All right, so I'm just going to take the glue and I'm just going to be very generous with my dots. Here, actually, let me bring the camera over here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I've got the glue and I'm just going to do like that. I'm doing kind of like a dot schmear. And I'm doing it about 6 inches apart. Just like that. And this is going to hold really well. It's a little bit easier. And I'm just thinking of it as if I were pin basting. This is about how you would put pins down for pin basting, right? And I want a pretty strong hold because I'm going to be handling the quilt quite a bit with my hand quilting. So, all right, I've got about half done. So then I can just pull my fabric up here, smooth it out. Oh, I didn't need to glue on that part of the batting because it's not being used, but it's okay. It'll dry. It'll dry and it's a disappearing purple, so it'll dry clear. So that's kind of nice, right? But I'm just going to smooth this out. Oh yeah, this is a lot easier. Okay, yeah. You do not have to put the glue on the fabric. You can put it directly onto the batting and it's working great like this. Once I've got it smoothed out the way that I want it, I'm just going to go over with my hands and smush them down onto the glue. Just like that. And I'm always moving my hands out to the edges. And that's just getting rid of any air bubbles that are in there. There's half of it. Now we got to go up and do the other half. So I'm going to do that here real quick and do a little time lapse thing here. I've got the backing is now glued to the batting. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing for the quilt top. And I will show you again how I did it, but it works way better just gluing onto the batting directly, not to the fabric. So that's what I'm going to do on the opposite side too. I'm going to just glue directly onto the batting and then smooth out the quilt top. And I really think it's going to work. This glue, it's not as, let's see, what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't take as much to glue with this glue. It isn't quite as strong of a hold, which is okay. You don't necessarily really need a super strong hold, so that's nice. You're not having to squeeze a bottle. I know some people really don't like squeezing the bottle. You have a lot more control over it. Because I know with the squeezing the glue bottle, if you're not used to it, you can kind of get like a little carried away and have big glops come out and stuff. But the stick so far is working really, really well. I will wait to give my complete opinion till I've got the sandwich completely made and I've let it sit for, you know, a half hour, an hour, and see how strong the layers are held together. But so far, I think this is a really good option for glue basting if you don't want to work with the liquid school glue. It's not showing through. So far, I haven't had any spots show through. I am using a green fabric though. If you use a white or a light fabric, it still might shine through. That's happened with the white school glue. Yeah, I've had some people message me about that, and it does wash out normally in the washing machine if you use the Elmer school glue. If you're trying another brand of school glue, I cannot give my opinion on it because I don't know the formula. I don't know if it'll work. I haven't worked with it. Even if a glue is called the exact same thing, but it's made by a different company, their formula is probably different. So they might have something extra in there that could stain fabric, or something extra in there that makes it harder to wash out. Even if they say it's washable, I've had some people reach out and say that they've had a hard time washing out other school glues. So that's why I only recommend Elmer's, okay? Same with the glue stick. I'm using Elmer's washable school glue stick, okay? So that's all I'm gonna recommend. I'm not gonna recommend any other brand unless I test some other brands, which I could do. I could do a video where I test other brands, but for right now, just Elmer's, okay? I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna flip it over and apply the same technique for the quilt top, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right, I've let it sit. Let's do a pull test to make sure that it's nice and sticky, or nice and stuck, I guess. So there's a pull. Oh yeah, it's sticking really well. Okay, so I think it is, whoop. I think it is safe to say that the kind of smear technique is the way to go. That's what I'm finding. I like. It's really easy. It's really fast. This is just as fast as regular glue basting, as far as I'm concerned anyways. So now I'm just going to flip this over and do the same thing with the quilt top. So here we go. I am going to move the camera back as far as I can. And then we'll point it down, and here we go. Before I flip it over, actually, I am going to trim the batting off of that top edge just to make sure I don't mess up making my sandwich. So I'm gonna grab my scissors here, and I'm going to just trim off this excess batting because I don't need it. That should be good. Now I can flip it over. So I'm basically just going to set my quilt top aside, and I'm gonna put all the dots on here and then put my quilt top on. I mean, it does not get easier than this, I don't think, with basting. And then if you want, you can put little mini spots in between. This is just really, really easy. I'm basically gonna smooth out this top edge first. That'll be kind of like my guide. And what I found with glue basting is you can just get a way smoother quilt sandwich this way. When you are, if you pin baste or thread baste, it's just, it can be really tricky to get everything smooth, right? But with glue basting, it's just so easy to get everything so nice and smooth. That's one of the reasons why I think glue basting is so great, and so many people have switched to using glue basting when they are basting their quilts. So as you can see, I just kind of tug and smooth and tug and smooth. Again, I'm using my hand, and if I feel a little bump, I just grab the batting and give it a little tug and then smooth it out. I'm gonna kind of do one side, one half of the section I'm working on, and then go over and work on the other section. And then what the smoothing is doing is it's smoothing out the quilt top over the batting, and it's also pressing the fabric into the glue, which is what we want because we want it to get nice and stuck. And you do need to move a little quickly because you don't want the glue to dry before you have a chance to smooth everything out. But this glue, it seems like it takes about the same amount of time as regular school glue, so maybe like a half an hour to dry. And if you find that you have a spot that is doing something you don't want it to do and it's already dried, you can take a wet washcloth and lay it on that section and let it just sit there for 5-10 minutes so it gets a little wet and soaked, and the glue will actually become loose again, and then you can kind of maneuver things in the way that you want them. That's really nice. So it's not a permanent hold by any means, but it holds the layers together enough for you to be able to quilt. And I am so excited to hand quilt this. It's gonna be so much fun. So I've got about half of my quilt top here glued down and smooth. I'm just gonna smooth it out really, really smooth. How many times will I say smooth in this video? But I'm just gonna kind of get everything nice and flat, then just let it sit and let the glue do its thing. Let it dry and get a nice hold on the fabric and the batting. I will check back in when I'm about to do the other half of the quilt. All right, half of the quilt top is glued on now. Now I'm gonna put the second half of the glue on, and then it's gonna be done. Camera battery ran out, so I'm gonna shoot the rest of this with my phone. But here is the quilt top. It is all basted. Now I just gotta wait for this to dry, and then I can take it in to the house and set it aside until my thread comes and I can start hand quilting. So this was such a cool way to baste. I really enjoyed it. All right, I'm recording this with my phone. I guess I can take my microphone off. Don't need that. So if you could see how I have my phone set up, I've got my camera case underneath my phone, and then the phone is leaning up against my water bottle to try to get the phone a little bit higher so you're not, I'm not shooting down here so you can see me a little bit better. But anyways, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this method and kind of just do a brief overview of what we did, and what I think works best. So the glue that I used was this glue stick. So I used the Elmer's washable school glue stick, and it's the disappearing purple type. I like that because then you can see exactly where you have marked with the glue, and then once the glue dries, then the purple goes away and it dries clear, right? That's what I used. I really like that. Ooh, let's see how much of the stick we used. I will say, since I was applying the glue directly to the batting, it did, whoops, the camera's over here. It did get a little fuzzy. I don't know if you can see it. It got a little fuzzy, but it's not terrible. So, and I can easily just kind of wipe that off, but let's see how much of the stick we used. Oh, wow. We used barely any. I would guess we used, well, maybe like 3/4 of an inch to an inch of it. So not very much, really. Not very much. So that's actually a lot less than what I thought it would use. That's really nice. So this will last for several quilts and other projects too, because I like to use it for applique and things like that too. So I'll probably keep it next to me, and if I need to reapply anywhere on the edges, I can when I'm hand quilting, but I don't foresee that happening. My overall thoughts on using the glue stick for glue basting, I think it's fantastic. Honestly, I think it is fantastic. It is a lot less messy than the liquid school glue. It's very easy to apply. It's not hard to apply. I know I've gotten a lot of comments from people saying squeezing the glue bottle can be really hard on your hands if you have arthritis. And I totally understand that. I get arthritis pain as well. So there wasn't any of that with this, and this was so fast. I was just going blup, 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 every 6 inches or so. And this worked so well. I really like it. So I would recommend this. If you want to try it, I would recommend it. Now, I haven't actually gone to quilt yet. I don't know 100% how well it's going, or how easy it's going to be to push my needle through, but I am anticipating it not being hard because there are no globs of glue to get the needle through, right? So with the regular school glue, that is the concern for hand quilting. But with this, there's no globs. It's kind of like a even little smear layer of glue instead. So I think this is a really great option for hand quilters. I will do an update video when I have more data to share, right? But so far, I think it's really great. It was really easy to use. It definitely worked better when I was doing kind of like the little smear action instead of trying to do like an entire line of glue. I noticed that very quickly, and I am very pleasantly surprised that I was able to apply it directly to the batting, because that just, for me and the technique that I'm used to using, it's a lot easier than trying to, apply it to the fabric and then smooth the batting over the fabric and make sure that the fabric isn't getting all bunched up underneath. I really like it, and I really hope you found this video interesting. I hope you give it a try. If you're nervous about using this, I always recommend to just do a little practice sandwich with whatever glue you want to try. If you're going to attempt using another brand, definitely do a practice sandwich with the quilting and then also with washing it out, because you don't want to mess up a quilt top that you spent dozens and dozens of hours on. But yeah, this is really great. My quilt top is extremely flat and smooth. We got no bumps, no lumps, nothing. It looks really great. It's going to quilt beautifully, I think. And I cannot wait to start hand quilting it. It's going to be such a fun project to work on over the next probably a couple of months. I would guess it's going to take me a while to quilt it, but just thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave any comments in the comments below. Have you ever used a glue stick for basting before? Let me know. I would love to hear how it went for you. If you would like to check out my quilt patterns, my membership, all of the links for all of that stuff is down in the description box below. And I really appreciate anyone that orders my patterns. I just released my new cozy Christmas quilt pattern. It's so cute, perfect for Christmas. We're in our sew along for that right now, and it's just really, really fun. If you would like to join the sew along, purchase the pattern and I will send you out an email to join the sew along if you would like to join. In the next week or two, I'm assuming, is when anyone would want to join. After that, I don't know if anyone would even want to join for that, but all right, I'm rambling. I gotta go edit this video now and get it put up on YouTube, but I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon, okay? Bye.